Boom. So good evening, you absolute legends. It's 4 minutes past 9 on the 24th of January 2022. If you're listening on the replay on the audio experience, or you're watching on the replay on Facebook or YouTube, whatever you're doing, basically, wherever you're watching this video or listening to the audio, thank you so much for being here. Means the world. I'm going to be live now for those people who are here live until 10 p.m. God, I've got a lot to cover. I've got loads of stuff to play you guys, some really cool stuff. I've got something particularly at the end. I'm going to wrap this up at 10 to 10 because I've got a 10-minute video that I want to premiere for you guys specifically on this Monday night broadcast. No one has ever seen this video before. It's an Acts on This original film that me and Petch, community manager Petch / editor Petch, have created over the last few weeks. We finished it today. And I think it's going to motivate and inspire everybody on this call, on this broadcast tonight, to have an incredible week and get shit done. I'm excited to play it, everybody. You guys see it first. It'll go out online tomorrow as a recorded video, but you guys will get to see it first if you stick around to the end of this broadcast. Christine, how you doing? There's loads of people. Richard Haler's in the house as well. Many thanks for asking my question to Kelly on the show. Well, Rich, we're going to be playing some stuff out from that broadcast last week. So if I go over to actsonthis.tv, basically, if you're not a member of this community, come and join. It'll change your career very quickly. Basically, I host live Zoom calls every single week with the biggest casting directors, agents, actors, writers, directors, and producers in TV. If you want more auditions and more roles on TV, if you like acting and want to earn money from your career, as opposed to dabbling in it and it remaining a hobby, come and get involved in this community, actsonthis.tv. Last week, if you click into the previews, you will see a little 2-minute preview of a session that I held last week with one of the biggest casting directors in the country, on the planet, really. Bridgerton casting director Kelly Valentine Hendry also casts things like Wheel of Time for Amazon. Huge shows, basically, some of the biggest shows in the world. Kelly came on to do a Zoom call, not just on her own this time. She's been on the site before, but with her entire team. So we had 5 people from Kelly's office, including Kelly, on this call. It was incredible. A lot of insight into how her office works, how you can get on their casting radar, the shows they're casting, some hints of what they are casting right now, and just a lot of advice, including, people even gave personal email addresses from that office out on here in terms of getting in touch with them and sending your showreel, etc. If you are a member of this community, if you go into your members area, just for those people who might not have caught this live, if you click into your premium membership here, sorry for those on the audio experience, I'm just showing people the members area on the site. You will see at the top of our latest 5 features, you will find the full, what is it? It's like a 90-minute feature. Let me see how long it actually is. I think it was an hour and, what's that? Oh, I don't want to play it. It's about an hour and 36 minutes, basically with her entire team, though, with Kelly and her entire team. If you're watching live or you're watching the video, you'll see down the right-hand side of the screen there all of these beautiful faces from Kelly's office. And it was a really, really cool call. And Kelly doesn't do things like this. I've never seen Kelly really do a workshop or anything at all. She's just been super supportive of actsonthis.tv over the years. And just keeps coming back because she's just a bloody lovely person. And like I say, this time she brought a whole team. So I'm going to play you guys who missed that. Even if you're not a member, I still want to give you value. I'm going to play you 3 clips. Simba's fallen down. Look. Simba. Get up. Honestly. He's... They've all... They've all gone. I'm not even going to bother fixing it. I'll deal with that. I'll deal with that afterwards. Right, okay. Again, those on the audio experience, I'm sorry, the shelves behind me have completely collapsed. So, what do I want to do first? I want to play you guys a little mashup, 2 minutes and 20 seconds. I might fix this mess during this, actually, of some of the stuff we talked about on this call with Kelly Valentine Hendry. If you're not a member and you want to get access to the full replay, you can get a membership at actsonthis.tv. Go and do that. But here's 2 minutes and 20 seconds of what we covered. 5 casting legends on this call, responsible for casting huge shows like Netflix epic Bridgerton, Amazon smash hit The Wheel of Time, and oh so much more. Is casting director Kelly Valentine Hendry and her amazing team, Cole, Lily, Jessica, and Leon. Guys, thank you so much for being here. How are you all? So Cole, associate, Lily, associate, Jess, associate, and then Leon, assistant.
Kelly will be across everything, and Jess, Cole, and I take point on different projects. So we'll be the person to speak to in the office when the agents call, or sorting out who's coming in and what lists need to be done, what avails need to be checked, will be all across those separately.
Kelly, Lily, Cole and Jess actually will all make lists of ideas of people that they think might work for the role as well. So I will check those availabilities of those people and also send out self-tape requests.
Just what is, I guess, casting like for you guys in general in a 2022 world? How has it changed since we last spoke?
We get to see more people now. Being in the room is great and meeting people is great, but you had to, back then I feel like we had to rely on the sure bets. Who can we bring in that within 10 people, the director is going to find someone that they want to cast.
The best and the worst ways to get on the radar and at least get an opportunity if you're not super established yet.
I'll tell you what is quite effective, a few people have done this, is that they've put like a showreel embedded in the email.
Have your most professional piece of work at the beginning with famous. You got a scene with Olivia Colman? That goes first. I don't care if it's 3 lines, that goes first.
Is it okay to be reaching out to casting directors before you've got that footage?
Does it matter if you have a period set scene or a fantasy scene, or is it more like the quality of characters?
We work for our producers, but we're on your side, and it makes us look good if we discover new talent. We are not against you. We love actors, and we're not the bad guys.
actonthis.tv. Get your bloody premium membership if you want to unlock the full call, along with, God, like dozens and dozens of other features in the members area right now, and live Zoom calls every single week. We've got one tomorrow night I'm going to talk about shortly. What a call that was, though. And I can see people already in the chat who were on that call who have reached out to Kelly's office and have received replies back today. Zoe says, feeling on top of the world, because that's happened to her. So Zoe, nice one. Good on you for just taking action as well. People are still talking about Simba. I fixed him in the background. Doesn't look very good, does he, though? He's sort of like leaning on the dragon from the John Lewis advert. Dale says, not been on live in a few months. Been busy since October. Hope you're well. Hope you are as well, Dale. Good to see you, mate. But yeah, everybody, you've got to catch up with that chat if you've not seen it already. I am going to play out 3 clips from it now, just to cover a couple of things, just some takeaways that I think people, need to start thinking about in a 2022. I can't even speak, in a 2022 world when it comes to acting and auditioning and landing roles. And the first one is, you heard a little bit of it there, just is a clip about getting on the team's radar specifically at Kelly Valentine Hendry's office. Okay, so every office, every casting director will work in a slightly different way. A lot of the stuff that we discuss on actonthis.tv on a weekly basis with these casting directors is similar and will overlap. So there are certain protocols and certain things that you should all be doing as an actor when you're reaching out to casting directors to, actually give them the information they need to consider you for roles. But there are nuances there, and people, prefer slightly different ways of people reaching out, etc., etc. So this is, again, just a 2-minute clip on getting on the radar, basically. And like Zoe's done there, Zoe, you're now on the radar at Kelly's office because you've had a reply back from Leanne. And Leanne on the call basically told everybody, again, how you reach out, how, we all talked about how to do it properly. You got a reply straight away, Zoe, because you did it properly. So if you don't know what properly is, here's a little bit of advice, but if you want to watch the full thing and get the full lowdown, grab your membership. I'll see you again in 2 minutes. Just to give people sort of... examples, I guess I've got here like the best and the worst ways to get on the radar and at least get an opportunity if you're not super established yet.
If you're sending an email and it's for a specific part that you hear is going on, put it in the subject, 6'4" Viking like character, yes. And immediately go, oh, well, we're struggling finding a sort of 6'4", 6 foot, things like that make you different from everyone else, but are very concise and to the point, nothing too big. Put out the points that make you right, and then leave it where it lands. And sometimes you email at the right time, and sometimes you don't. I think that can all happen.
People will email with, say, introducing themselves, and I have clocked that it is there, but I haven't either had the time to respond, or I didn't feel like it was the right moment because we were doing something else, but it still exists in my inbox. And I found that sometimes people tend to keep following up over months and months and months. And I think that can be quite overwhelming.
The office at email that we have may seem like the random junk box that like just all of the random emails go to, but genuinely that's the one that when we have time to be doing, when we're not doing anything else, that's what we're checking. And so often if emails are coming into my inbox and I'm on my inbox, I will be in the middle of a 2-hour hustle to get a deal closed before someone needs to get in a flight that evening. And so it's unlikely I'm going to be able to give it time to actually read. So when we're checking that office out or casting out, whatever it is, that's when we have the time to be doing that.
Tell you what is quite effective, a few people have done this, is that they've put like a showreel embedded in the email. So it means I don't have to go clicking on links. Like
Right.
if it's right there and I can just hit play, I'm more likely to do that than like download your showreel when I don't know who you are.
Once again, at onthis.tv, get a membership if you want to listen to the or watch back the entire session with Kelly Valentine Hendry, casting director, and her entire office. And remember, these guys are literally casting the biggest projects in the world. Bridgerton season 2 comes out on March the 25th. Will no doubt take over Netflix again. It's already greenlit for a 3rd season and a 4th season as well. If you want to be considered for these kind of shows, they cast The Wheel of Time, a huge Amazon Prime show. This is really solid advice, guys, from the people who are casting the biggest shows that are out there. So to recap a couple of things there, you heard Lily talking about being specific when you're reaching out in your emails, things that make you stand out. She mentioned there, like, if you happen to be 6'4", and you're looking like a Viking, or you would suit a fantasy show similar to Wheel of Time, you definitely want to be putting that in the subject line so that it's very apparent the content of that email. Leanne was talking about frequency. You want to reach out regularly, but you don't want to over egg it. You don't want to be reaching out every single month. If you've not had a reply, you want to start tracking your emails so they've at least been received. Something that that's not a cover tonight, but you can research that yourself. So at least you know what's been opened and what links in that email have been clicked, etc. So you can sleep knowing that your work has been done and you don't have to reach out again the next week because they've not opened your email or whatever. Jess was talking about using the suitable email address for the office. At Kelly's office, they have an office at email address that the whole team monitor. You can reach out individually to each person there if you want, but the whole team get access to a specific email address that actors are sending their stuff into. Cole was talking about embedding an actual reel within an email. I don't know many platforms that allow you to do that. There are some extensions for Gmail that will allow you to do that, but you have to be really careful of the size of the file you are uploading. You don't want to send, like, if you don't know what you're doing in terms of editing your reel down to a smaller file size, that don't mean a smaller dimension, not physical size when it's played on a screen. You don't want to send like a tiny little thing over, but in terms of compressing and using a program, I would get everybody should get a program called Handbrake. It's free, and you can just compress your files so that they're really, really small when it comes to video. Some of the live broadcasts that I do, when I've recorded it, it's 8 gigabytes. And Handbrake will get that down for me to under 2. Now, you would never send anything like that. You couldn't in an email anyway. It's ridiculous. I'm talking like a 2-hour broadcast. But a 2-minute show reel, I'm sure you'll be able to get down, I don't know, it's under 10 meg easily. Which you could easily embed in an email. So that's something for people to explore. But just a few things there. As I say, we covered, that was 2 minutes of like a 90-minute chat. There's so much more if you want to see the whole thing. That's on this.tv. It's in the members area right now. I'm going to check some comments out, and then I'm going to play a clip that we covered where we talked about show reels. Let's see what's going on. Erica, how you doing? Thanks for being here. Let's have a look. Eric says, this is fantastic. My 2 children are actors, Sophie age 14 and Alex age 11, is a premium member for children too. Yeah, so Erica, right, actonthis.tv basically is, it's, in my opinion, I know it is. I'm trying to be humble really, but it's without a doubt it's the most in-depth knowledge platform probably in the world when it comes to getting into TV acting in the UK anyway. I don't cover America, but there's nothing like this. There's not a site on the planet that covers what we cover in as much depth. Basically, every single week we bring on the biggest names in the game, and they really are the biggest people, the biggest actors, agents, writers, casting directors, everybody, anyone who's anybody. And we've got a lot of people who have kids in their family who are actors as well. A lot of the advice still applies. You know, a lot of parents get a membership and they will watch the features with their kids, and then it's sort of like, you know, because the parents can kind of guide the careers of their children a bit more, and you know, you can take this stuff in together. We've got loads of people in the community who do that. They sit there and they all watch it together, and then you can act on the advice. That's why it's called Act on This. It's all practical stuff that you can implement literally immediately after the sessions. But yeah, it would absolutely be be suitable. It's something that an 11-year-old probably wouldn't want to sit there and just watch on their own, I guess, because it's kind of business related, and I don't know, they'd probably rather watch something else. But if you watch it together, or maybe, you know what, I don't know, maybe your 11-year-old is just so on it and is like, this is what I want to do with my life. I just, you know, I want to know everything about getting into acting. This is what I want to do. Then yeah, you know, maybe they'd be absolutely cool, you know, watching these sessions on their own. They're all recorded as well, so if you can't make it live, you get access to the recording literally the very next day. There's an app that you can download where you can take it all in on your iPhone or your Android. We do bi-weekly coaching involved in the membership as well, where you can jump on a Zoom call with me and the community, and we do some stuff together. And then we do a monthly meetup as well on the first Saturday of every month. At the moment, it's still on Zoom. It's not in person, but I hope it will get back to in person. And we do that in London and Manchester when it is in person on the same day at the same time. But for now, it's all on Zoom. Everything will remain on Zoom, bar the monthly meetups, which we might bring back in person this year. But you know what? We'll probably do an in-person one and a virtual one as well, because we've now got members all around the world. So obviously they're not going to want to travel to Manchester on a Saturday morning. But yeah, grab a month. You can get a monthly membership or an annual membership if you want to just test it out for a month. And if you really like it, you can upgrade to an annual membership and you'll save like £5 a month on your membership, and you'll get hundreds of pounds worth of bonuses as well. So actonthis.tv/live if you want to check out what's coming up. But I will be covering that in a bit as well. Paul, how you doing? Says he was wanting to know if we're going to do another feature with Isabel Steele, who plays Liv in Emmerdale. Yeah, probably. I've been speaking to Iz a lot, Paul, actually recently. So we may do another feature with Izzy. We've not done one for quite a while. Andrew Lord in the house, how you doing? And Sharon, good evening as well. Right, I want to play out one more clip from Kelly. I think I've got one more. Yeah, one more on... two more I've got. Well, this one's on Showreels, okay? And again, it's an area that I don't know, a lot of actors kind of as humans, we overthink everything, don't we, basically? But actors really overthink two things, emails and showreels. And the reason they overthink showreels, in my opinion, is they want to cram everything in, basically, because they want to sort of show as many different things as they can. And that either results in a showreel that's way too long. You know, we do showreel surgery as part of the membership and Acts on This, and we do that every quarter. So you guys who attend that know that your reel should be no longer than 2 minutes and 20 seconds. It just shouldn't be longer than that. You can't, distribute it on Twitter if it's any longer than 2 minutes and 20 seconds, and that's a huge platform that casting directors hang out on. And also, it's just a great length. You would never have a 5-minute reel, although I still see people with 5-minute reels, and I promise you they're not getting watched. You've really got to think about quality over quantity. 2 minutes and 20 seconds of fire is so much better than 5 minutes of dog turd. And your best thing, really, your best material should be up first. We go into this in so much depth on Showreel Surgery. The recordings of those are in the members area as well. But here's just some advice from Kelly on showreels, basically. And again, this is specific to their office, but don't forget they're casting the biggest shows in the world.
With showreels, is it more helpful for you to see a range of what an actor can do, or is it better to have a clearer idea of the one or two things they do the best?
I think everybody overthinks this too much. It's like,
yeah,
you start doing well at something, and you are very funny, by the way, and you just kind of jump on the bandwagon a bit with casting. I think is the easiest way to describe it. Is like, someone's doing well, you bring them in for anything. You go, I want to cast that guy or that girl or that person. It's all very overthought, I think.
Yeah.
What am I? What is my casting bracket? So go back to the showreel. I think you just have to put your best foot forward. Like, you put your best bit of work at the beginning. We watch like 20 seconds. When you're picking suggestions, you want to know that you are picking someone that someone else is almost casting away at the same time. Bearing in mind, showreels now are super important, because when we send any speaking role to the network, we have to present, and it has to be casting approval through a casting department above us, which is crazy.
Wow. Okay.
And on that, you put the name, you put the link to the audition, you have to put showreel and CV. Now, if your showreel is crap, and it's a bunch of amateur stuff or stuff like you just feel like you need a showreel, you're going to get knocked back by Amazon because you've got a bunch of people in America sitting going, what?
Shit, I didn't know this. Wow,
Yeah.
okay, yeah.
So we're actually incredibly editorial on behalf of you guys. If you've got a bad showreel, we ain't sending it. And then we get an email that you don't get approved overnight. It's always last minute. And they go, where's the showreel? I'm like, shit. We're going to have to send something. So then we'll call the agent and say, is there anything you can do for us that we can just as something small? So your showreel is literally, you have to just have your most professional piece of work at the beginning with famous. You got a scene with Olivia Colman? That goes first. I don't care if it's 3 lines, that goes first.
Once again, I'll say it again, actsonthis.tv if you want to get a membership and unlock the full chat with Kelly and her entire team. That was new information for me. I've been in this industry 20 years, right? Well, over that. And I didn't know. I knew about what's called network approval. Basically, when you land an audition, you do a great job. The director's like, yeah, I want to give you the job. They all agree on it. It has to go sometimes, depending on the size of the platform it's being shown on, whether that's Channel 4, ITV, or whether it's Netflix or Amazon. You have to go to what's called network approval. And that generally is just to make sure that ultimately, if they're going to give you a role in something, that the execs are happy. There's also things like if it's going to be a big role, well, we're going to have to just look into make sure you don't have any sort of like criminal history, or we'll do a CRB check on you and make sure that you're squeaky clean. If we're going to put you in a primetime ITV show as a big character, we don't want anything coming up in the future, that sort of stuff. But what I didn't know, and it's very sobering, and this is why your showreel, if you are not jumping for joy about it, you need to get your shit together this year and really refine it ultimately, is if you even land a role and they're like, yeah, the director wants you, Kelly's like, yeah, we want you, and it goes over to America, for Amazon Prime or Netflix, and the casting team there above Kelly, ultimately, for the execs to give you network approval, are like seeing a really poor showreel that's full of amateur stuff, or you've just, like I said before, crammed everything in because you think you should have done, as opposed to having one piece of quality content, you can lose your job that you've already got off the back of having a shit showreel. So, that's bad, isn't it? It's so important, guys. If there's a weak link on your reel, delete it. Your reel does not have to be, super long. Like I said, 2 minutes and 20 seconds maximum, but it doesn't mean you have to fill the 2 minutes and 20 seconds. A 1 minute 45 reel that's quality is so much better than a 2 minute 21 that's got a terrible scene tagged on the end of it that could lose you a job. So that is something to think about for 2022, and it's new information that I was not privy to until that Zoom last week. And again, that's why you want to get involved in this community, because you get information that genuinely you'll not get anywhere else. I live and breathe this industry, and I speak to people every day from all over it, and I didn't know that. So you don't want to lose a job you've already got in order, because of your reel. You want to make sure you sort that out this year if you haven't already. What's going on here? Alex and Sharon, what are you saying here? So Sharon says, what can you do about a lack of motivation, feeling really fed up and missing being on set? It's tough, isn't it? Because I think today, Sharon, isn't today technically Blue Monday or whatever they call it? I'm sure the third Monday of January is supposed to be the most depressing day of the year, isn't it? Is that today? If not today, it's at some point, or was last week at some point, Sharon. So it's a weird time of year, right? One, sort of acknowledge it. That's fine. And it's okay to lose motivation. That's absolutely okay. There's nothing wrong with anybody if you're like, I'm feeling fed up. Some people go like, what's wrong with me? I just don't know what's wrong with me. I just don't feel motivated. You're just a human being, right? Life can punch you in the face sometimes. You just don't feel motivated. It's okay. What's not okay is to stay there for a prolonged period of time. So you do have to go, right, how can I create some dopamine in my body? Because that's the motivation molecule. That's a chemical within you that operates your prefrontal cortex at the front of your head. That is the thing that is your dopamine creates that seek and reward feeling where you're like, oh my God, I've got to send this email, or I've got to shoot this scene, or there's something that I'm really inspired to do. It makes you want to, to pursue that for the reward that you might get at the end of it. So to get that, one, what I always find is to move. The worst thing I think you can do when you're feeling demotivated, even though you want to, is stay in bed and put the covers over your head. So whatever that is for you, like for me, it's just a walk. I'm just, you don't have to go and run. Sometimes I'll run, but sometimes just get out, walk, put some earphones in, and put something between your ears through those earphones that's motivational, because external motivation can be that initial trigger. And it's something that you have to listen to every day. And hopefully the Acts on This features kind of have that impact on a lot of people. I see that on Twitter when people tweet me and they're like, oh, I was feeling shit and I watched this and now I'm raring to go. External motivation won't last. So you want to, as bathing doesn't last, we have a shower every day, otherwise we stink. You're going to want to put some motivational stuff in your head every single day. That could be a motivational video on YouTube. Sometimes I do that. There's a great YouTube channel, Sharon, from a friend of mine called Absolute Motivation. And they're those videos that you want to watch and listen to when you're really feeling shit, that just make you go, oh, right, I'm going to get a little bit angry and come on, I'm not putting up with this for myself. I'm going to do something. Sleep is a massive one, though. Make sure you're getting enough sleep. I just bought something called an Oura ring, O-U-R-A, and it's a ring that you can wear like all day. And it tracks your heart rate, it tracks your temperature, it tracks your sleep. It tells you how much deep sleep you've had, how much rapid eye movement sleep you've had, how long it took you to get to sleep, how restful you were, or if you're restless and moving around. It's fascinating. And then it gives you a score the next day out of 100 to tell you your readiness score and how well you slept, basically. And it's really interesting for me to be able to correlate low scores with how I perform through the day. Because I'm like, yeah, it is, I do feel tired. I don't feel motivated. It's because I didn't get enough sleep. So if you're not getting your 7-8 hours sleep or whatever it is for you, that's something you really must focus on. Don't go to bed with your phone in your hand either and just be scrolling until you fall asleep, because your body's not going to create enough melatonin to make you actually have a deep sleep. If you are going to use your devices late at night, use some apps. There's an app called Flux for iPhone and stuff that will put like an orange filter. I think it has it built in now, actually. An orange filter over the screen, so you're not taking in the daylight wavelength light that comes from your phone, that blue light that keeps you awake. And then just do small steps, Sharon and Alex. Something small every day. Like, it literally could just be, like Zoe said before, an email. She emailed Kelly's office. She got a reply. She now feels like that spark again. Right, I'm in the game. That's then going to motivate you to do that again. That dopamine is going to start flowing through your body. You're going to feel good. And rinse and repeat, basically. But if people are feeling demotivated, God, let me just tell you, I know, I'm busy and I'm doing stuff all the time, but I don't feel motivated every day. There was a Monday 2 weeks ago where I really didn't want to do this broadcast. I had a really tough day on a Monday. I was like, I don't want to go live at 9 o'clock and, I have to, give all that energy for an hour. Tell you what, though, I came off that broadcast and I text the person who I'd been talking to all that day about this problem we were having. And I was like, God, I'm so glad I did that. I feel great. So sometimes as well, doing the thing that you don't want to do, ironically, gives you the motivation that you wish you would have had to do that thing, in a way. Does that make sense? It would be the equivalent. I use this analogy of going into the gym and saying, I'll only pick those 30-kilogram dumbbells up when I've got big muscles. And you'll go, well, until you start lifting the 15s or the 20s, you're never going to develop big muscles. So sometimes it's like, oh, I'll do that when I feel motivated. Well, until you start doing that thing, you're never going to feel motivated. So you've got to do the thing that you're putting off in order to get the thing you need or feel you need to do it in the first place. Hopefully that makes sense. I know it sounds a bit crazy, but that's what I find. Sometimes forcing yourself to do shit you don't want to do. I used to do that with running. I'd go, oh, I don't want to run. I'd go out and run, and I'd love having ran. Sometimes you just got to do that. Hopefully that makes sense and people get it. If anyone else has got any tips for what motivates them, then you want to put them in the chat for Sharon and Alex. And Sharon, yeah, you went to sleep at 3 a.m. and didn't wake up till 2:30. That's a problem. Bedtime. After 10 o'clock tonight, when I finish this broadcast, you'll go to bed, Sharon. Get yourself to bed. You want you asleep by 10:30, definitely. Evie just finished reading The Slight Edge, a book that I love. It's by a guy called Jeff Olson. He says, that's completely shifted my mentality and helped with motivation. Highly recommend, and thanks, Ross, you recommended it. It's one of my favourite books of all time, Evie. 2 books, one called Letting Go, one called The Slight Edge. 2 favourite books ever. But yeah, sleep's really important, man. I didn't get enough of it. John says, going back to Showreels, what about if you haven't got any recent stuff 10 years plus ago and haven't done anything apart from supporting artist work, but trying out to get back into the industry properly as a full-time professional actor? So John, you want to get one custom scene shot from scratch by someone who really knows what they're doing. Your 10-year-old footage, with respect, is utterly useless now. There's no point in putting it out. It'd look terrible, even just the fact that it's not going to be in high def. I don't know what definition it'd be in. It's not going to look good. I mean that like with love. I wouldn't want you wasting your time promoting stuff that was 10 years old. What you want to do is definitely, we do something on the site, John. I don't know if you remember or not, but let me just show you quick before I play this next clip out. We do something once a quarter called Showreel Surgery. They're all recorded. If you get a membership, for anyone who's not got one already, you'll see them in the members area. And what we do is I bring on, in my opinion, the best showreel producer in the UK, a guy called Chris Stone. And what we do is for nearly 2 hours, we dissect members' showreels. And Chris gives his critique on them. So you see us there in the top corner there, and we're chatting about this showreel that we're looking at here. There's some cracking showreels that we play out. There's some that need a bit of work. Chris really knows what he's doing. But Chris also, if you go to chrisstoneshowreels.com, he writes custom scenes for people and he will shoot them. They're not cheap, unfortunately, but you really get what you pay for in this industry. I think Chris is about 400 quid. You will see showreel producers out there who will tout that they'll do your showreel for 50 quid. I promise you it'll be dog turd. It'll sound terrible. It'll look terrible. There's a lot of people who just, buy a camera and think they can do this sort of stuff. Before you got anything shot, though, you should go and watch one of those sessions so you really understand what makes a good reel. There are some absolute schoolboy errors that people fall into time and time again. If you watch one of those sessions, I promise you, you will end up making a reel that will book you a job very, very quickly. There's people in this community who do it literally all the time. They watch one of those sessions, they really know what they're doing, and they end up not only landing agents via that reel, but they end up landing TV roles. A guy called David Carpenter in our community who I've got on in 2 weeks' time. He's gone from like student to teacher now, where he, basically took all this advice on board, went out, shot a show reel, and now he stars in ITV's The Bay that's playing right now. He stars in all 6 episodes playing a character called Connor. Before that, he had done no training, was not in drama school, had never, done anything professional before. He just followed that advice, got it right, and wasn't afraid to invest a little bit in himself. So don't waste time winging it. I would say, you can go, if you want to get a show reel, you can go down there. I'll help out on student films and this, that, and the other. But it's so uncontrollable. They're student films, they're students, they're learning. You're still probably going to end up with, footage that isn't great. It might not be cast to your type. These scenes that you get written for you are completely custom and really custom for you, your casting type. You'll be playing very strongly to type, not against type. That would be the quickest way. I swear, John, if you're good, mate, if you've been in the industry a long time, if you've been doing stuff for a decade and you're a good actor, with one decent scene and understanding the business a little bit and how to get it in front of people, which is what we talk about every single week and teach people, you could probably get a job in a couple of months, to be honest, which would cover more than cover the cost of your reel. Most jobs, there's a few people in the community this week who've landed roles in Coronation Street, in EastEnders, Emmerdale as well. And, even like the smallest 2-line job, you're looking at sort of 600-700 quid. It'd easily cover the price of your show reel. I'm going to play one more video out, just checking the comments. There's so many comments there. I'm sorry if I'm missing stuff. Sarah says, do you suggest cutting less professional stuff now already or wait for more footage? I should receive it in a week or so, but I really feel bad about some stuff in my showreel after the meeting. Cut it out now, Sarah. If you're getting new stuff in a week, then just prepare it now. Prepare the edit now. Cut all the shit out. And if you're going to get a quality piece of footage in a week, replace it with that. If you've got like one scene that you're really happy with or 2 scenes already, keep those, but trim the dead wood off your reels, guys. Like, if you put stuff in just for the sake of padding and filling out time, it's pointless, honestly. Just one scene is enough to pique people's interest sometimes. Ross, I got some great feedback from the call with Chris. Oh, Sharon, yeah. Amazing, yeah. Because so yeah, Sharon, so what we do is we randomly choose members' show reels to do Showreel Surgery, but it was Sharon's birthday, wasn't it, Sharon? I think it was, and I forgot, and like I hadn't chosen your reel, so I said, right, Chris is going to ring you and give you like a 1-to-1, and I'm really happy about that. Yeah, I forgot all about that, but I'm glad you got good feedback there. Definitely. Right, I'm going to play one more video while I read some more comments, and this one is just about kind of what I was hinting about there. About you get what you pay for in this industry. You really do. Like, this is a clip that a lot of actors kind of fall into, where they allow themselves to be sold again and again and again because people try and convince them that they're not ready. I see this a lot. You know, there'll be sort of like, again, you've got to be careful. Even showreel producers will do this. So Chris is legit, and I know he's quite expensive, right? So, but I would use Chris. You know, I wouldn't recommend anybody that I wouldn't use myself. There are a couple of other showreel producers in the industry that are good, but there are a lot that aren't. There's a lot of acting classes that aren't. There's a lot of workshops that aren't, and yet they will sell you again and again and again on going, oh, just do 4 more of these classes with me, just a little bit of this, then you'll be ready, then you'll be ready. Where actually, if you just focus on being really, really good, if you're a great actor already, and you have that belief that you are, you know, so many of you are ready watching this, I know you will be, or listening to this, you'll be ready to work. You don't need another acting class. What you need is something that just shows a casting director your ability, you know, that you're a great actor, you're an amazing actor. So one scene, you know, I'd never say, oh, go to Chris and get 5 scenes. No, it's pointless. One scene. I know it's expensive, but one scene. And then that's it. You know, Chris wouldn't try and sell you more. He's not like that. But there are companies who will. Buy this off me. Do this workshop. Blah, 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 blah. Just be careful who you're giving your money to. And anybody who's not come across Acts on This.tv before, I mean, if you look on the homepage, the names that back this site up, you will see how legit it is. Literally the biggest names in the industry. But still, I would prefer you, you know, like if you were unsure, like, is Ross legit? You know, am I legit? Go and Google like me. Go and look on my IMDb. Look at if I'm working, you know, the shows that I'm working on, what I do, you know, the feedback that actors are giving Acts on This on Twitter. You know, do your research. You know, don't just dive into stuff and just part with loads of money, because there's so much shit sold in this industry. There's a lot of people just out to exploit actors, and I hate it. And Kelly kind of hints at this at the end of, towards the middle of this clip, and it is about, you know, potentially going and getting a showreel shot specifically for a show. Sometimes it can work. Sometimes it's just completely unnecessary. For somebody like John, mate, obviously, you know, if you don't have any showreel, you need something. So, you know, for you, it'd be very necessary to shoot a custom scene. But for a lot of people, you know, if you want to be on Bridgerton, you don't have to go and shoot a custom Bridgerton scene for £1,000 in, you know, period drama, costume and all this sort of stuff. Kelly explains it a bit better, but here you are. Over the last few years, I've interviewed actors. Are you looking to book your first TV role on Hollyoaks?
If you were to kind of pick someone, having looked at it.
It's all gone completely wrong. My button stuck there and just started playing multiple videos. Ignore all that. Here is what I was trying to play.
If you were to kind of pick someone, having looked at their showreel, does it matter if you have a period set scene or a fantasy scene, or is it more like the quality of characters?
That's really important. You've absolutely nailed it. Our biggest problem on Wheel of Time, Bridgerton, is an assumed perception of what fantasy or Regency or whatever it is. The amount of tapes that come through in Bridgerton is like, no. Last Kingdom was the same. It was because it was Vikings. It was, you know, like Saxons. No, play the truth. And just go for something natural. This is the key. When you have these smaller parts, and quite often that is obviously when you're starting out, that's the roles that you're auditioning for. You are not the important person in that scene. You're part of the furniture moving that story on. They're the people who get the roles. Our industry has been filled with years of people trying to make money and trying to tell you that you need to buy things to do things. You're spending your money on something like this evening. That's what you spend your money on. You don't spend your money on someone going, oh, I need a new headshot. I'm not getting roles. I need a new headshot. Get a new headshot when you don't look like your headshot anymore. That's all. A new headshot doesn't get you jobs. Like, don't mess about with agents. Like, you're constantly being fed stuff. Like, it's a bit like the fitness industry. If you do this, you'll be better. You'll be better. It's not true. It's not true. There's a couple of institutions like this. You know the ones I'm talking about. There's really good ones, and that is what you spend your money on. And the rest of the time, it's just you just go to the theatre all the time. If you can afford it, I'm sorry, the tickets are expensive. Go to theatre, watch your people on screen, watch. Come on things like this and listen to what people are telling you. You'll get it. There's no amazing actor out there not working. I promise you that.
Just be amazing.
If you're good, you work. Everybody always gets there, but don't overthink it.
Boom, actonthis.tv. Again, if you want to listen to the full chat, get your membership. And thanks to Kelly for saying, for endorsing Acts on This as something worth spending your money on as well. There really are, I pride myself on it, there really are only a few organisations in this industry who genuinely have your best interests at heart. Just be careful, folks. And before you part with any money, do your research. If you see a couple of actors setting up a company and promising you that the success that, success that you're after, make sure you do in-depth research that they've had that success they're promising you. I've seen some absolute jokers, and Sarah knows what I'm talking about on here, because I think, unfortunately, she fell for it. Running Instagram ads, charging hundreds of pounds for coaching. They're barely out of school and have never had an agent or a professional TV job in their life. How can they help you achieve that if they've never achieved it? If I stop working as a professional actor and stop, working on telly, I will close this company down, because I would feel such a charlatan and a liar and a con artist taking money off people, trying to help them and coach them, to get work that I can't get myself. It's ridiculous. Like, be careful. Ultimately, and if you have doubts about anything, we have a Facebook group that's actually not even part of the membership. It's free. If you don't have to be a member of actonthis.tv. If you go to facebook.com/groups/act-on-this-TV, if you've got any doubts about something, or you want some feedback on a company you're thinking of spending money with or whatever, we've got 10,000 actors in that group. I will pitch in and give you my opinion as well. Use it, right? You don't have to be a member. We've got a private community, a premium community for members, but there is a free one. There's still got 10,000 actors in on Facebook, and it's very, very busy. It's used every single day. There's dozens of posts. If you've got any questions, please utilize that as well. And I'll try and do my best to chip in and help you guys. So we've got just a few minutes left, because I've got to play out a couple more clips, but one is something I'm very proud of that I am going to premiere tonight for the first time. If you please stay till 10 o'clock, you get to see this for the first time. And I think in terms of motivation, Sharon and Alex, it will kick you up the ass, because that's what this video is designed to do, that we've made. It took us weeks to make, actually, and it basically, the content came across 2 years, came from 2 years of interviews with the biggest names in the game. Before that, I just want to show you what's coming up tomorrow night. If you are a member of actonthis.tv and you want to work on Hollyoaks, maybe you're looking for your first TV job. Hollyoaks is a show that, a couple of hundred people get their first TV job on every year. Maybe you want to be a regular in Hollyoaks because you've got a few, credits under your belt. The head of Hollyoaks casting, Mr. Peter Hunt, is joining us on a private closed-door Zoom call tomorrow, just for members of actonthis.tv, 7:30 p.m. Here is what's going down. Actors, are you looking to book your first TV role on Hollyoaks this year? Perhaps it's your dream to land a regular role on the show in 2022. Well, listen up, because I've got an invite for you to our next actonthis.tv live mastermind session. It's taking place at 7:30 p.m. on Tuesday, the 25th of January, with this absolute legend here, head of Hollyoaks casting. It's Mr. Peter Hunt back in the house. Peter, welcome back to Act on This. What are we going to be covering on Tuesday night?
We're going to be covering, we're in a new year heading into 2022. How do you bag those first jobs if you're kind of new? It's been a really tough couple of years for everyone. So it's either getting those first jobs on telly, or, picking up after what's been a really kind of slow couple of years, maybe for some people.
Yeah.
So that and lots more, and maybe a little bit of chat about how casting's kind of moving as we maybe, dare we say, come out of the pandemic a little bit. So yes. All that.
I cannot wait. This year is going to be over. We can stop using the pandemic as an excuse, actors, while you're not getting work, all right? If you want to get involved in this, get yourself over right now to actonthis.tv/live for full details of this session and all upcoming sessions, in the future. We do this every single week with a top casting director, agent, actor, writer, director, producer, the best people in TV, basically. actonthis.tv/live for full details. And Peter, you know the score. You've done this many times before. I always drop this question on people, but you're probably prepared for it now. Why don't actors want to miss this session in particular?
Oh, wow. I think because it's honest advice from somebody that auditions and gives lots of jobs to actors every year. Let's say that.
Absolutely. This guy, honestly, champions brand new talent. If you're brand new and you want a chance, be there. actonthis.tv/live. actonthis.tv/live. If you want to check out the full schedule and get your membership to join us on that call, you will get 7 calls a month for less than half of what the industry generally charges you for one workshop anywhere else. Again, not only is Act On This freaking legit, it's the best value you'll get in the industry, full stop. So Peter's going to be here tomorrow night. We're going to be having a really honest chat on how you can land auditions for Hollyoaks this year, whether you are looking for your first TV job or your next, because maybe you've got a load under your belt and you're just looking for that next job, and you might not have done Hollyoaks yet, how you can get on Peter's radar. And also, Peter's head of Lime Casting, so Lime Pictures and the casting department at Lime. They also produce a load of other shows as well. So a lot of Netflix stuff as well. You might have heard of the show Zero Chill, I think it ended up being called. It's like an ice skating drama. They've done Free Reign, which was I'm sure that was like an Emmy-winning show. It's kind of like a kids show around horse riding and stuff. But they do a lot. They do an awful lot. Lime. Peter's the head of casting there, so it's not just Hollyoaks, but we're going to focus particularly on Hollyoaks tomorrow night. So get your membership if you want to join in on that. If you are a member, you will get your Zoom link sent via email tomorrow at 1:30 and 6:30. Don't forget you can log into the members area anytime tomorrow after 11 o'clock to grab that link. You don't have to wait for it via email, or if your email goes down or whatever, you can always log into the members area and get your link. And if you log into the members area and download the app for Acts On This on your iPhone or your Android, you'll get push notifications as well. It's a lot easier. Literally, you click it and you can open up the Zoom call on your phone. So join us for that. I'm going to check the comments for just 10 seconds, and then I'm going to play you a video that is an exclusive that no one will have seen, but I want to reward you guys for staying till the end by playing this video out for you. It's going to be available on YouTube tomorrow, but I'm really happy with it. I'm just going to go into the comments here a second. James says, what you're saying, Peter took the time to email back. Lovely guy. He's awesome, James. He's a really, really great guy. Andrew, how you doing? Which town or city is Ted Lasso set in? That's a bit of pop quiz going down in the comments. And Zoe's at rehearsals tomorrow, but has a 40-minute break between 8:15 and 9. Well, get yourself on the call if you can, Zoe, in between rehearsals. But if you can't, it's going to be in the members area the very next day. So you can chill about it. So what we did, this was Petch's idea. Petch is the community manager for Acts On This. He's also the chief editor. He edits all my videos for Acts On This. Great guy. Give him some love when I post this in the Facebook group and stuff tomorrow. You can tag him in it, Lee Petcher. But what we did is last year, well, since lockdown, basically, we've had over 70 of the biggest names in the industry on for live Zoom calls, basically private Zoom calls with our members. And at the end of every call, I ask the question, what's the one thing you wish every actor would know? What is that one thing maybe that they wish they knew when they were first starting out or whatever? And what we've done is we created a video now where we just mashed up 10 minutes of all of this advice that's really valuable. This is from people who have, incredible careers or are giving people incredible careers. They're either casting or they're writing or they're directing or they're the actors themselves. You'll see the name appear on the screen as well, and who these people are. And I just think hopefully it's going to inspire you going into this year. I'm thinking of even just, sending everybody on the email list the MP3 version of this, and you can just pop it in your ears and listen to it on the way to an audition. Or something like that. It's almost a bit of a, not meditation as such, but you can just sort of like listen to it on the way to something and get in the zone. I'll probably do that. I'll give everybody the audio of this so you don't have to just watch the video. But I really hope you enjoy it. Thanks so much for being here tonight, everybody. If you've been here for the first time, do come and join us every Monday night, 9 p.m. Would love to see you on one of our calls as well. If you get a membership, would love to, sort of help you get further in your career this year. And Heather says, would you ever consider hosting any mastermind calls in the daytime? Yeah, we do sometimes, Heather, because some of our guests have kids and stuff, and they're like, I can only do the day, so we do that. The majority of them are in the evening. But we do, a few throughout the year end up being at like Matt Lucas we had on at like 5 p.m. A casting director we had on recently called Aisha Bywaters, we had on at like 3 p.m. And stuff like that. So it does happen. But that's why we give the recordings. And when you get the recording, you get the audio as well. So you get like a podcast version of it. So if you're in the car, you can just listen to the audio. You get the video version if you're at home and you want to put it on your telly or whatever. So I try and make it as absolutely sort of like as accessible as possible. So to keep up with any of our calls, if you've got literally you put your earphones in or on the car stereo or whatever for 90 minutes a week, you'll never fall behind. So if you're doing a commute to work, half an hour there, half an hour back, over 3 days, 2 days even, you put it on the stereo and you can catch up with everything. You can post at any time in our private community forum to get support. That's there for you as well. We've got the app so you can consume content really easily. You don't have to join the sessions live, and if you are a member and you're like, look, I'm really struggling and I've got a burning question for the guest tonight, I'll ask it on your behalf. If you email me, I'll do my best. I did that for Rich, who lives in Miami, so he's on a different time zone. So I'll always do my best to get you the answers that you need, even if you can't be there live. So I hope that's good. I hope that helps. But yeah, shout up if we can do anything for you. So here's this video. This is the one thing video. I really hope you enjoy it. Please give me some feedback in the comments as it's playing out. I'd love to know how it makes you feel. If it does make you feel motivated, when we've done this in the past, sometimes people have gone, oh, I feel a bit emotional. But hopefully this advice will just give you that fire in your belly and a kick up the backside. Let's go into 2022 and make the rest of your life the best of your life. I'll see you tomorrow night, hopefully, with Peter Hunt. Until then, love to you all. Bye for now. Over the last few years, I've interviewed over 70 of the biggest casting directors, agents, actors, writers, directors, and producers in TV. I asked them all, what's the one thing every actor should know? Here's what they said.
Just don't expect it to be easy, because it's really not. Just be prepared for the tough times as well.
Be a bit more confident, a little bit more confident to say, to a director, how about I try it like this?
Don't overthink that thing that you've done in the room or that you've said or whatever it is. Just kind of, once you've left the room, park it.
Yep.
And just walk away and just forget about it.
As soon as you've done an audition, forget you've done it. That I had to learn to do early on.
Don't fear us or the process, and always leave in the room. I know you can't do it in the room with the self-tapes, but always leave the audition there. Move on. Don't kind of fester over it and think about it.
A few things. Firstly, you do you. It's a long game, and if we bring you in the room, it's because we think you're good.
Every audition you go to, we want you to get the job. We want you, in that moment, to be the one that gets this.
The people on the panel want you to be good. We really want you to be good. No one is against you. Don't come into the room thinking, oh God, don't worry about it. We all want you to be good.
Prepare more, to worry less, and to know that the casting director wants you to be good. And we are just here to help.
The only people that are not going to make it to where they want to make it to, wherever that may be, is because they're not persistent. And yes, there may be loads of reasons why you can't stick to it, right? But if you can stick to it, there is a payoff.
If I was to give any kind of advice to any young actor, or not even young actor, just any actor, is do your work, because you need to do the work in order to make it look like you don't do the work.
Nothing beats good work ethic.
Do your homework, do the hard graft, do the stuff you need to do before you even get on the gig.
Be better tomorrow than you were today, even if you were brilliant today.
Make it about the work and not about the success.
You can have it all. You can. The only thing to stop you is you. Nothing can stop you. You see a fucking obstacle, kick through it, climb it, smash it up, fucking burn it, get through it. The only way out is through. You can have it all.
Be happy, you'll work more.
Don't stress. It's like you're going to enjoy the ride so much more if you're relaxed.
Listen more to the daring side than the devil on your shoulder saying don't do it.
Always remember why you decided that you wanted to be in this industry, and I don't think we're told enough to remember why. So every day when you wake up, just remember what it feels like when it feels good. Because I think you'll agree that when it's not going so well, it's really shit and it hurts. But my God, when this industry, when your work is going well, when you get that call that says they want you, there is not a feeling on this earth that compares to it.
No part is worth robbing yourself of years worth of happiness now.
The industry is the way that it is, and you are what you are. How can you make it
so that this industry, whether it's what you wanted it to be or not, is something that you can take joy from in some form. And if you can't get joy from it, take a break.
Be kind to yourself. Look after your mental health more than anything. That's vital. Enjoy life. There is more to it than this fucking industry. When it's not fun, change it.
Just take good care of yourself. You're a human being, so take good care of yourself. Make sure you're happy. Make sure you're together and well and at peace.
It absolutely makes no difference to you whatsoever if someone else is doing well or badly or whatever. It makes absolutely no difference. So you can take joy in someone else doing something good.
Don't watch anyone else's journey. You know, your journey is your own. And the sooner you can let go and celebrate other people's success, the sooner you're going to be able to achieve your success.
People put on social media the character that they want you to think they are. And that involves all the success and all the joy and all the happiness. And that can have a massive effect on the people reading it. But just remember that that's not always the truth.
Don't be shy. Be curious and just ask questions of people. They love it more than you'd ever imagine.
You need the people around you can just ask the right questions and just get on with being an actor, and a good one at that.
How privileged we are to be in a world and a society that entertains and makes people think and makes people happy and makes people smile and makes people sad and makes people cry. How wonderful, what a privilege it is to be part of that. And I think it's really important that we never lose sight of that, no matter how shit it is, how much shit the world is and how shit we feel our contribution to the industry is.
Kind of look after each other a bit, really.
Support your mates, look after each other, and support and collaboration is what this is all about.
We're all in the same boat, casting directors, producers, directors, makeup artists, everything. We're all just trying to make it work.
Everybody is the same and everybody worries about whether they're making the right decisions from the top to the bottom of the industry.
We're all thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
We're all wondering if the other person thinks we shouldn't be there. You know, the best thing to think is we're just human.
Casting directors are nervous, directors are nervous, producers are nervous. We're all fucking bags of nerves. But what we all have to do is learn to manage them.
We're all learning. Sometimes you learn from getting things wrong.
Being kind isn't a weakness. If kindness is at the core of what you're doing, then you'll never go wrong, will you?
It's just about being a nice person and showing up and being good and not misbehaving and just being nice to have around.
No one's better than anybody else. So when you know, if you're lucky enough and you get any sort of theatre telly job, to treat everybody that you meet the exact same.
Believe in yourself. That's what I want to give you guys in the industry. That's one thing. Believe in yourself.
Just bloody believe in yourself, because there's no reason why you shouldn't. Just go out there, believe in yourself, be confident, trust your judgment, and one day it will happen. It's going to happen.
Just know who you are, because this industry will try and change you. It will try and say you're not good enough. You know what you can do and what you bring to the table. So just in the words of Mufasa from The Lion King, remember who you are.
You're fine. You don't have to change yourself. But being yourself is one of the hardest but most rewarding things that you'll ever get to do.
Your face is perfect for somebody. You know, you are every individual, and it's important that you mustn't try to be anybody else.
Have confidence in your own ability. It's a precarious, scary profession at times. It's overpopulated, but there is space for you. There's a room for you to show the gift that you've got. And it's about holding on to your own talent and persevere and keep moving forward, and things will happen.
Have the confidence in yourself and be proud of your work and who you are as an actor, and don't kind of feel you have to fit the mold of someone else or something else or anything like that. You know, This is your career. Be selfish in a kind and polite way. But, you know, you got to work for yourself.
Do your best and try and be as realistic as possible about what your best is. Know that your best is probably not Liam Hemsworth's best right now. You haven't had that number of auditions. Your best isn't Idris Elba. You haven't had A, B, and C. Your best is your best. Try and do that. And outside of that, and once you've done your audition with that best, just leave it behind as much as you can.
Don't worry too much about everybody else is doing. Just, practice your craft, get your stuff together, get your ducks in a row, as you'd say, and just concentrate on what you want to do and where you want to be.
Believe in yourself, believe in what you do, and be just really kind of empowered by that, and try not to worry about what other people think, because they'll always have their own opinions.
If you're going in the room for a job, you've got just as much chance of getting that job as any other person there. You're in that room because somebody thinks that you can do it.
Don't let other people measure your worth. It's not up to anyone else. They don't get to decide whether you're good enough, whether you should have something. You decide. You are the only version of you. There might be 10 people who can play a part, but you are there's only one of you. And based on that, you have to go, that's a gift.
Be yourself. I don't mean as an actor when you're acting, but when you go and meet people, present yourself.
So many people, I've mentioned this before, tape, come in, even write an email, already saying, I am not good enough, I am not worthy. Yes, you are. That's why you're here.
Every audition is a chance for you to practice your craft. So embrace it and enjoy it. Do what you love. Don't do things just for the sake of it. Do things because you love it.
Your mind is the strongest thing that you have as a tool, whether that be an actor or not an actor. And if you use that tool to your advantage, then you can put yourself in any situation and compete with the best.
That Ross Grant has the best arms.